Okay, well, thank you everyone for joining the business process outsourcing services for Santa Cruz, Livery Coach, and Limo Anywhere customers. We're going to kickstart this webinar on GroundOps. Please take it away, Apurva.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us today and taking time out of your day to join us for this webinar. My name is Apurva Patel, and I'm the founder and president of GroundOps, as most of you should be aware. Today, we are excited and thrilled to introduce you to our latest product offering, GroundOps. Our team has spent the last 5 years perfecting the product offering and the services we can provide to help complement your business operations, provide you with outsourced agents that are trained, who get to know your business and can help augment your internal staff and times you need it the most. We literally and figuratively have built the GroundOps service from the ground up for the ground transportation industry. With that, I'd like to hand this presentation over to Anuj, who helped organize this webinar today.
Thank you so much, Apurva. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today to learn more about GroundOps. GroundOps was built, like Apurva said, from the ground up for transportation operators like yourself. GroundOps is not a generic call center. Our agents are all pre-trained on the leading back office platforms you already use, Santa Cruz, Livery Coach, and Limo Anywhere. So they can focus on learning your business and your business processes, not your software. Our operations are headquartered at the Navratna Corporate Park in Ahmedabad, India, a modern, secure, and highly connected business hub that enables us to deliver our 24/7 support with exceptional reliability. And here to share with you are some pictures of our offices. You see to the right Ahmedabad's geographical location here. And now let me tell you a little bit about Ahmedabad. Ahmedabad is the 7th largest city in India, and it stands as both an economic powerhouse and a cultural landmark. Known as the hometown of Mahatma Gandhi, the city blends historical significance with modern industrial strength, earning the title the Manchester of India for its legacy in textiles and its continued leadership in pharmaceuticals, chemicals, and automotive manufacturing. It's the only city in the entire country to host 3 globally recognized educational institutions in IIM, IIT, and NID, cementing its reputation as a center of excellence in management, technology, and design education. With a metropolitan literacy rate of roughly 88%, Ahmedabad benefits from a highly skilled workforce and has been recognized as the safest city in India, ranking 77th globally, with a safety index of 68.6 in the 2025 Crime Index. Most recently, the city showcased its global stature, hosting the 2026 World Cup of Cricket at Narendra Modi Stadium, which is now the world's largest cricket venue, with a capacity of 136,000. And good news, India did win the World Cup just a couple weeks ago. Now I'd like to introduce our leadership team. GroundOps is led by industry veterans. Our director, Kruti Chiddar, brings over 20 years of experience in ground transportation technology, with degrees from India and the University of Southern California. She has led product development and organizational strategy across multiple transportation software companies. Ladies and gentlemen, please meet Kruti.
Thank you, Anuj. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to join us today. I'm Kruti Chudgar, and I have been working in the ground transportation industry for over 20 years. My background combines both technology and operations. I started my career as a programmer after completing my master's in computer science from University of Southern California in the United States. Over the years, I have worked closely with ground transportation software platforms and operators, which has given me a deep understanding on how these businesses function on a day-to-day basis. Since 2011, I have been in leadership roles, focusing on building scalable systems, managing teams, and improving operational efficiency. And one thing became very clear over time. Transportation companies do not struggle because of lack of demand. They struggle because of the complexity of managing operations consistently. That's exactly why we built GroundOps. We wanted to provide something which is not a generic BPO. GroundOps was designed specifically for companies using Santa Cruz, Livery Coach, and Limo Anywhere, with teams that understand the workflows, pressure points, and expectations of this industry. Our goal is simple: to help operators build reliable, scalable, and efficient operations without the constant challenges of hiring, training, and turnover. And with that, I would like to hand it over to Carolina, who is a core member of her team and who brings tremendous experience to this company.
Thank you, Kruti. Hi, everyone. My name is Carolina Cabrera, and I serve as the GroundOps Implementation Liaison. I bring over 25 years of experience in the industry, including 13 years at Ground Widgets, where I specialize in implementations. In my current role with GroundOps, I'm responsible for industry and customer service training, coaching, and monitoring our agents to ensure high performance and service quality. I also work closely with clients to understand their specific needs and align them with the right agent skill sets, ensuring a strong fit and successful partnership. I'm excited to be here today and look forward to sharing more information with you. Thank you for your time. Now, I'd like to introduce you to Amar Pant, our GroundOps Operations Manager.
Thank you, Carolina. Hello, everyone. My name is Amar Pant. I've been working with GroundOps as an operations manager for the last 5 years now. 20 years ago, I started my career in call centers. During the last 15 years, I've managed call center operations for many US clients in e-commerce like Vistaprint, and insurance companies like SummaCare and Cigna in US. So today, I'm going to cover with you how we have developed a solution to support you to manage and scale your operations and reduce the operational cost and complexity both at the same time. And I must tell you, this was not easy, but I respect all of you for maintaining it so efficiently and effectively. In the next few slides, I will cover the problems we prioritized, the solutions, and the rationale behind them, how they reduced cost and complexity, and then I will also share the proof of our concept through the testimonial of our first customer, BLS, who started with us 4 years ago, tested our service, and over time did get a lot of value out of it. So Eric Ocon, the owner of BLS, will share his experience of using our services. Anuj, can we move to the next slide? So what we have seen across most operators is that challenge is not demand, as Kruti has already said. The real challenge is managing the balance between operation costs and returns so that the operation is stable, both when the demand is available and when the demand cools down for months like December. Challenges like these lead to complexity in business. Traditional solutions like hiring and training, hired more, train more, they're very expensive. Ideally, a company would prefer to hire and train when the demand cools down, so that by the time the demand becomes active, their team is ready. However, this plan has its own risks, and it adds to cost and puts stress on margin. Many agents leave within 3 to 6 months. That's natural. There's nothing we can do about it, or very less we can do about it. There's always a learning curve. In many cases, only about 2 out of 5 trained resources become fully effective and independent. Then the company also has to invest on monitoring, feedback, and mentoring of agents to maintain their learning curve and to maintain service quality. If service quality is not maintained, then chances are that some trips end up making no money. Instead, for an operator, such trips translate to fulfilling commitments to retain customers instead of making profits. Reliability on people and processes is very crucial. For example, an agent does not show up for a shift like an overnight shift or a weekend shift. Suddenly, bookings and service quality is impacted. The extra effort that is required to sustain consistency is another important factor. One agent handles a customer perfectly. Another agent handles the same situation a little differently. And that creates an inconsistent customer experience and service delivery. Hence, monitoring, feedback, and mentoring has to be a continuous process. The traditional solution is try to fix them by more hiring and more training. but that solution also has its limitation because of the cost associated with it. This leads to more operational pressure. Ultimately, these challenges pose a risk to business continuity, cost you time, money, and growth. All the operators we spoke to wanted to spend time in maintaining existing customer relationships, develop new customers to expand and grow. But the volatility of the operational issues impacted their confidence to expand, as operators have to spend a lot of time in keeping the current operation stable and cost effective. Can we move to the next slide now? After understanding these challenges, we identified the gaps between the current situation and the ideal situation where the operators would be that would solve them. So based on these, there are some solutions that we proposed. Now, for transport workflows, the softwares like Santa Cruz, Limo Anywhere, and Livery Coach, people don't learn about these softwares in colleges, right? So it's not possible to go to a college and institute where we're going to find people who are getting trained on these softwares. So we had to set up a training platform, a training launchpad, where we could consistently train people and keep a pipeline of trained agents always ready. Once we are able to achieve that cost effectively, we could become a service that can provide you with pre-trained agents who are ready from day one. The agents understand transportation workflows and the softwares you use daily. Our training is specifically designed for companies using Santa Cruz, Livery Coach, and Limo Anywhere. So our teams understand the day-to-day workflows that transportation operators deal with. If learning curve or meeting expectations is an issue, like the challenges we were discussing, where only 2 out of 5 agents become effective, or let's say there are emergency callouts over the weekends, or the overnight shift. So every operator must have the ability to invent a backup out of thin air anytime they want, right? So you just need to have a service where you can call and say that fine, over the weekend you've had an emergency call out, or for overnight shift you need somebody to log in, and you should be able to get that resource within 24 hours, right? Then for the learning curve, meeting expectations is an issue. For example, let's say only 2 out of 5 agents are effective. You want more agents, then you should be able to get another batch immediately to interview. You can also acquire a supervision-based structure at zero cost. Now, in this supervision-based structure, supervisors are accountable to audit the work done by the team, log in and provide coverage if the scheduled agent calls in sick, works as a point of contact, like boots on the ground, to manage the remote team. This brings consistency and accountability. Hence, we thought that this solution would lead to a situation where instead of spending thousands on hiring, onboarding, training, you significantly reduce that cost because the foundation is already built the moment we have a pool of pre-trained agents to present to you. As your business grows, you don't have to worry about going back into hiring cycles. You simply scale your team by adding junior, senior, or on-demand agents. So what we've noticed, there are a lot of repeatable tasks like entering a reservation, following up with affiliates, or monitoring the dispatch board. Then there are some crucial tasks where you require a senior agents. For example, you want somebody to negotiate with an affiliate, or you want somebody to be the single point of contact for a VVIP client, or you want an agent who can single-handedly take the lead on managing an event for you. Then we have senior agents as well. Now, a mix of junior and senior agents is always better because junior agents and senior agents, the cost becomes balanced. Then there is also a sudden demand that you get. For example, you might come across a customer who has an event happening in August or July, and you need 5 extra agents for that. So now we have created an on-demand service as well, where you can simply hire 5 agents for a short-term project or to complete a specific task and then move on and then reacquire them only when you need them. Clients can choose to build their own dedicated teams now. You can choose to build your own dedicated teams or use on-demand and part-time agents depending on your needs. As your business grows, you don't need to restart the hiring process. You simply adjust the mix of junior and senior agents. Now, behind all this, what we have is what we call the GroundOps advantage. A highly educated workforce, agents with strong communication and decision-making ability, not just call handling. Can we move to the next slide? So now I would like you to hear from Eric Ocon, the owner of BLS, his feedback and his experience of using the services that we provided him.
Well, I think we were amongst one of the first customers for GroundOps, and it was through Apurva Patel. He has, been so incredibly gracious and informative, and really held our hand throughout the whole process to set up a really what we could just consider an extension of our team. We were experiencing staffing issues, especially through the pandemic and through the after effects of the pandemic. So we kind of needed a very quick way to scale up. From conversation to signing contracts, we had agents up and running and training within 2 weeks, and then within another 2 weeks after that, they were part of the team. There to mainly handle the overnight. And then also supplemental services. We do have a fair amount of the agents on prime time shifts, the ones that have been with us for a long time. If there's an issue, we have our team lead that we go to and they work it out. If there's scheduling changes, or if somebody calls out stateside, Ground Widgets has always been, or GroundOps has always been, Johnny on the spot, so to speak, to help fill any gaps. Painless, I mean, pretty easy. There's the process, and it just kind of flows nicely. Our hand is held, and to be honest, there's not much thought involved for us. It just kind of happens. Just to expect that there can be a little bit of a culture change. But I think that's okay, because they do bring a different perspective to the table, and it's you are still going to have to manage it, and you have to speak up about your expectations, and then the GroundOps team will work with you with what those expectations are. Like if you're a micromanager, which a lot of operators are. That'll allow it to be, but there's also portions of it that we just put on autopilot, that the agents are just doing because it's a relatively easy task or something like that, or you just have an agent that's been with us for so many years. They're a team lead, across, they're running a whole shift without any US interference. Great. I have no complaints. There is an accent, but it is minor, and clients get used to it. And you call into any call center now, usually you are going to be picking up with somebody that does have an accent, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad thing. And the bang for your buck, you're getting very educated people. For much cheaper than you would be getting in the United States. GroundOps is our partner. GroundOps is our partner. Peekaboo.
So people, that was the feedback that Eric gave us. And this feedback is like fuel for us, the continuous process in an endeavor to become perfect and make sure that we create a more perfect version of the service as time and the demand evolves. I just wanted to, all right, can we go back to the previous slide? So I just wanted to give you an overview of our team. This is our team in India. Junior agents, like I told you, 3 to 6 months experience, senior agents, 2+ years, the on-demand and part-time agents as well, depending on how you want to structure your team. Can we move to the next slide? So the best part is that this is not a complex transition. It might seem very chaotic to move the entire operations from US to India, but it's not a complex transition at all. It's actually a very structured and a low risk process. So the first step we do is that we identify your pain points. We do a discovery call. We try to understand your operations, where exactly your bottlenecks are, and what is creating the most pressure on your team today. One example that we often come across most of the discovery calls with many clients is let's say, the backlog from the previous day that the shift has to complete. A new shift that comes in today has to complete. So a lot of operators have this issue where their team that comes in to work the current day, they have a lot of backlog from the previous day that they have to complete. So we plan overnight staffing for them that can come in and complete as much as that can be completed overnight, like let's say finalizing the rates, closing out the rights, sending emails to affiliates, right? Or let's say if you want to do any other transactions related to accounting, clear segment alerts. If you want to have that done on the overnight shift, so that once the day shift comes in, they start with a fresh desk, with a clean slate. They just have to focus on real-time work and not worry about the backlog. In the second step, we move into agent selection. You don't get assigned random resources just because we tell you that we have trained them. You actually interview and choose the pre-trained agents who already understand your systems. This onboarding is not going to take months. So if you go hire, you train, and then you onboard the agent, that's going to take at least weeks to months. In our case, we have already spent or managed the cost to train the agents and to prepare them, so that you simply have to come, train, interview the agent, select your team. With many of our clients, they just take 3 to 5 days to brief the agents on their internal process, how they've set up the customer accounts, how their billing is structured, how they manage the margins with their affiliates, and they have the agents up and running within a week to 10 days. Finally, as your business evolves, you scale your team in a very controlled way by adding junior, senior, or on-demand agents based on your needs, while supervisors ensure continuity, quality, and accountability. So instead of disruptive, this becomes a very smooth extension of your existing operations. Many of our clients start seeing stability and efficiency improvements very early in the process. Most of our clients start with just 1 or 2 agents, and once they see the impact, they naturally expand from there. So that was the solution and the transition process that I wanted to share with you. I hope if you all have any feedback and suggestions, we are going to discuss it when we connect later. That was it at my side. Now I will be handing it over back to Carolina, and she will share the GroundOps advantage and the pricing structure with you. Over to you, Carolina.
Thank you, Amar. What sets GroundOps apart is specialization. We're built specifically for the ground transportation industry. We're not a generic call center. Our agents are already trained on Santa Cruz, Livery Coach, and Limo Anywhere, so they're productive from day one. We support core operations, reservations, dispatch, accounting, affiliate management, plus extended services like reporting, rate loading, project work. From an operations standpoint, you get supervisor-led teams, 24/7 oversight, and built-in backup coverage, so there's no disruption. And just as important, security. Controlled environment, secure systems, no data exposures. Bottom line, we help you scale quickly, reduce overhead, and operate more efficiently without sacrificing service quality. Our pricing model is simple, flexible, all-inclusive, and cost-effective. Junior agents, typically 3 to 6 months of experience, range from 11 to 13 an hour, and senior agents, 2 or more years of experience, range from 14 to 16 per hour. After-hour support ranges from 12 to 17, depending on the level of experience required. For lower volume periods, we offer shared agents at 6 to 8 per hour, ideal for overnight weekend coverage. For short-term needs like events or data entry projects, we provide on-demand agents that can be quickly deployed. Overall, this gives you the flexibility to scale as needed while keeping costs significantly lower than building an in-house team. Thank you for your time.